So now we are going to add another section, and this time it's the experience section. Let's see how it looks. So the first thing we're going to do is to press T on our keyboard and add a new text layer. So I'll just type over a decade spent shaping products at startups and companies people actually use, from first sketch to shipping feature. This is just my text. You can add whatever you want. And I'm just going to paste it right here. Now let's change the font size to 72 pixels. Let's make sure the width is set to fill. And let's set the color to white with a 50% opacity. And let's just make this section, this part of the sentence, let's make it 100% opacity. Like so. And then let's select the text we just created and press the keyboard shortcut Control Alt Enter to create a new stack, which we will call container. And then we can use the shortcut again to create another stack, which we will call experience. Now let's select container and set a max width property of 1280 pixels, just like that. And let's add a padding of 80 pixels to our experience section. Okay, now we need to change the letter property to minus 0.02 pixels, just like this. And let's move on. Let's press T on the keyboard and click on our canvas, and let's type download CV. Let's also change the direction of the experience section to vertical, and also for the container stack as well. And let's place download CV here at the bottom and change the font to 16 pixels and regular. No, you know what? Let's leave it at medium. Let's change the opacity to 100%. And let's duplicate this text and type connect with LinkedIn. Now let's change the opacity of our duplicated text to 50%. Now let's grab these two texts and press Control Alt Enter to create a new stack, which we will call CTAs. Now let's duplicate CTAs and change the name to list. Now we can change the names to, let's say, for example, Pixel Studio. This one will be Founder, and this one will be 2014. And now I'm just going to copy this arrow right here and paste it just like this. So now let's grab these three text layers and press Control Alt Enter. And let's change the direction of this stack to horizontal. And now what we can do is select the list stack and the CTAs stack and press Ctrl Alt Enter to create a new stack, which we will call row. And let's change the layout type to grid with 1 row, 2 columns, and let's select both of the stacks inside row and change the height to fill. Let's select the row grid, and instead of 10 in the gap section, let's replace it with 0 on the x-axis and on the y-axis. So now let's select the CTA stack and change the alignment to the left and the distribute property to end. Now let's select the container stack and change the gap to 64 pixels. Now we need to make sure that the stack, which we called row, is inside the container stack, like this. And now let's select this text right here and change it to 17 pixels. Also, both of these texts can be 17. And let's select all 3 texts and change the width to fill. And now let's select this layer and change its text alignment to right. Now let's select this stack, which we can call list item, and we'll add a top and bottom padding of 20 pixels. And now let's add a border just from the top. So first of all, the color will be white and the opacity will be 15 pixels. And now let's set 0 on the right, bottom, and left sides and leave just 1 pixel of border on the top. And now what we can do is just duplicate list item 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's select the stack called list and change the gap to 16 pixels, like this. And we can give the last list item a bottom border. So let's click on border right here and add 1 pixel in the bottom. So now let's add these icons. So we'll grab them from the insert panel from this library right here. So the first one is called file text. Let's change the color first. File text. And the second one is called arrow upright. Let's just duplicate this one and search for arrow upright. And it's this one. Now let's grab these 2 layers and press Ctrl Alt T to create a new stack, which we will call download CV. And let's change the direction property to horizontal and the distribute property to start. Also, let's change the gap between items to 8 pixels. And we'll do the same process for these 2 layers. Ctrl Alt Enter. Let's call this stack linked in. Change the direction to horizontal and the distribute property to center. Let's just switch places between the layers and we're almost done. Let's select the CTAs stack and give it and change the gap to 12. So I just noticed that I need to change this word to shipped instead of shipping. And what we can do now is change these two icon sizes to 16 by 16. And also change the gap here in the LinkedIn stack to 8. Just like here in the download CV stack. So there you have it. We have a new section, the experience section. And that's it for today's lesson. I'll see you in the next one.